Now, we spoke about this yesterday, which is EU, and spoke about how we've been bullish so far. And at this point, there is no reason to take a trade, except if you're willing to take a risk right here, or you can see it's just about to finish the move all the way up there, and we have about 100 pips left. GPSD, we've got about it's just about to break this high and break everything here to show us the high, because you can see right here we have high lows, high low, and right now we need the high. So we're just really close, and from current price. Also, this is officially market open, which is London open. So from current price, we're about 70 pips away. So it's just crumbs at this point if you're looking to catch up the move to the upside. Then gold. All right. So for gold, it's been bullish. Didn't give a pullback either. But what it did is, I think, it's decided to come all the way up here, and that's where we're headed. Because right here you can see the golden demand zone, and this is the last base that broke demand. So there's most likely going to be a pullback from around here. So I'm just going to have to wait for price to get there, and then when price gets there, I'm going to take a sell, sell all the way down here, basically. Now moving forward, we also know that tomorrow is NFP. So in a case where this is our daily, let me look at the daily. I want to see how the daily candles look like. All right. So for 3 days straight, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's been bullish, right? And it's been bullish from an area of demand. So how is the daily going to close? That's what I'm interested in. I think it would make a lot of sense if the daily candle doesn't really get here. But if it does, anyways, that's fine. But I think it would make a lot of sense. And it doesn't really come all the way up here. So that Friday could prepare itself from this zone, and then we can have that sell, that quick sell off, which is that high volatility, and then also look to buy as well. So what I have here is sell and buy options on gold. So I'm just chilling at this point. No need to take a trade in between. I just want a quality trade and not just any crazy ass trade that doesn't make any sense. And there's no quality enough. Um, because if I decide to buy here now, what if price decides to make a pullback? And then I take a bad trade, right? And then it wouldn't be about the fact that I just lost 1%, but it'd be about the fact that I didn't take a trade that made a lot of sense. Um, okay, what else? So yeah, so EU right now, I don't think I have taken a trade. London just opened, and you can see the London volatility. It is late to get into entries here, so we're just chilling. And GU, I believe, also have that London volatility coming up, and we need to break this high because we've got liquidity at that high, and also we need to get into the zone because that's actually a supply zone, but I don't think it's going to reject it. I think we're going to have to break through it as well. So I'm just waiting for that price action. I'm trying to see what happens next. All right. So that is a summary of the pairs for this morning. Also look at the DXY, which is the dollar index. It is dropping hard. Okay, and this is our destination. Let's see if we have any other thing that could stop us. Okay, so right here, I'm gonna have to identify this holding demand, holding supply, and this is above this zone. So I want to see what's below that zone and not above that zone. So let's check the fractal. So this area right here is what I'm looking out for. I'm going to the replay mode this time. What I'm looking for right now is a demand level. Something to show me demand. If it's a base or if it's I think I'll go with this. And that also shows us evidence because this is actually very big right now. I think about it. Choose it. All right. So now this has given us evidence, which is you can see this candle come into that area to tap in, and this one tap in, and then you have bullish movement straight up. Okay. So that's the evidence about that area. Yes, this is recorded. I just want to see how we react today. Obviously, this is a daily candle, so I want to see how we react around here. Also set in lat as well. So I know when price gets there, and then I can watch price action. And we get there. And that also going to do the same thing to EU, which is look at what could stop us. Now I'm going to have to reduce this POI because it is very big. And then stick with this zone, which is the same thing we saw on the XY. You know that the XY and EU are kind of like mirror pairs because they correlate a lot. Kind of like the opposite of themselves. And that's why I only use both for correlations. So at this point, I want to see how we reject that area. Bring my alert meter lower. Oh yeah, I think that's fair. That's fair enough. So let's see how we react here when we get here. And then maybe we can possibly hold a hedge position, like a sell position around that area. So we now know that nothing should stop us as we make our move to the upside all the way up there. And the market is closing tomorrow because today's Thursday. So how's the daily candle going to close? How's the NFP going to affect this? We would see soon, right? I'm gonna have to look at June. June is to break this high, and there's liquidity above here. This is a previous supply level, and this supply has been tapped in once, twice, which is liquidity. So it has to break it at this point and head for a much better zone, which is this holding demand zone and this supply that I have here. So bullish at this point up there. Then for gold, check out 15-minute time frame first. I'm going to check out the structure on the 1 hour and then the structure on the 15-minute time frame. So structure wise, we have a high, a high low, make it small, high, low. We broke this high at this point. So when this high was broken, which is this high, this previous structure high. Okay, so when it was broken, what broke it out? This was our last SC before the breakout, and we didn't come back to tap into it fully. Check out 2 hour. Okay, we did tap in. We did tap in. I was going to think about the fact that this could be liquidity, but we didn't tap in, and we did give a strong bullish movement as well. So I would say that's done. When did this happen? 6 o'clock. Okay. So break. Let's check out 30 minutes. Break out the high. Rejection. Rejection. I'm going to get the SC. Did it take liquidity? And continue order flow. What I'm thinking is the probability that I should come back here and take out liquidity. But on the higher time frames, it's quite unrealistic that price would come back down there because we now have stronger bullish movement and strong bullish market movement, bullish momentum here. So it's quite unrealistic that price would come back here and even still continue. So I don't think this will work. Yeah, I don't think this would work because even the candlesticks are maintaining the structure here. So if there's going to be a pullback for a buy, it's not like we're going to take the buy anyway, but if it's going to be a pullback, it has to be from around here, just so price maintains this candle structure. Because we now have bullish higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Also with the structure, so it's quite unrealistic that we'll come here and still continue to go bullish. So at this point, let me see. We have broken a previous supply level. So let me pay attention to what we're talking. Now I see that we did get a retest into it, a test into it, and then another candle formed from here to go bullish. A retest, a base, a breakout, right? A retest, this retest, then a breakout. Now this was the last base on the 1 minute, on the 1 hour. On 30 minutes, this was the last base. Let me take this out because it's starting to look unrealistic. So the last base, that's 45 minutes. So last base. 1 hour. Okay, so let's do it this way. And then I'm going to see how it looks in the fractals, which is the zone that I've just marked up. Okay, makes sense. Okay, that's a minute. Okay. Yeah. So I think we can have price come in here like a retest to continue to go bullish. So that's going to amount to, let's go back to structure now. So let's now look at the structure. High, 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 lows. High, 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 low, high, 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 low. Where's our high, high? We don't know yet. Yeah, so this is why it can be very tricky to actually buy around this area because if price jumps back down to then give a decent low, which would be discount price in that case, and maybe it takes out this liquidity here. So that's why buying in this middle point is not wise. All right, it's not a wise thing to do. Does it make sense? Do you guys get why this isn't wise to chase this market? Because you can see what could happen here. Like you could dump further and come back down, and then you lose. Okay, so this is not a quality trade. And that's why we leave trades like this. Exactly. So trades like this, just leave it. There's no reason to force yourself to catch it or chase it. And don't also put yourself under pressure to make you feel like you don't know how to trade and you're not a good trader because you don't know how to catch the move. Like you're not the bank, so how would you catch the move? You're actually a very good trader for being patient to catch a quality trade. All right. What else? What else? What else? We don't really have a lot going on at this point, right? Um, because obviously, this is where all of the entry opportunities. You know how we say the market is abundant, yeah? And this is the abundance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because this one's, I thought I spoke about this entry, but it missed me by 2 pips. So I missed it, and it's okay. I was even shocked to see price come lower all the way down here. It was crazy because I never really thought that was going to happen. Even though I knew that there was unmitigated stuff underneath here and I saw this as liquidity. Um, and when price started to push up high, I just felt like it was going to come back, only to see price make a crazy bass retracement back down. Because as usual, what takes out liquidity from order flow usually gets tested back. So that's why this happened. And then you have a bullish market. So nothing at this point, no trades. It's just chilling and being patient and then spending time on other things. If you want to spend time on other stuff that you like to do, maybe set a lot, which is prepare ahead. So as you've just seen me prepare ahead now, which is I've now prepared myself for EU, which is prepared myself where I have to now check back on the charts and see if I can now get into a hedge position, which is a sell. Because obviously we don't expect EU to just keep flying just like that. There's going to be pullbacks, which is give rooms for higher lows to get formed. And look at this. That's why I have what? That's why I have this higher supply. I say higher supply. Um, Holding supply because this structure point was just broken and what was created before the breakout. You see this alien? You see this? This was created before the breakout, and so therefore that could be the reason why we get high low, and that could be another opportunity for buyers to get into the market. All right. So it's all just saying at this point. Let me see if I can reduce that and see exactly what's there. So you can see the SC right here on 8-hour time frame. But I'll still check out the time frames because that's another structure point and that structure point got broken. So there's something around here that broke it. There's a base. There's still something there I haven't seen. Yeah, okay, there's a rally base rally here just before the break of the structure point and the structure point, which is the holding supply. So this right here is where we would likely get the next higher low to get formed because this is what higher low. Now we have a higher high that hasn't given us a 50% retracement, which could be the reason why we need to see that steep retracement for premium price. Then I can look at these areas here for re-entry. But until then, just have to wait. Let me just highlight it for future purposes. Something like that. Right?
Is there an imbalance zone in that up move?
Imbalance can be very tricky. Here's the thing. Imbalance can be very tricky because what might look as imbalance on the higher time frame is not imbalance on the small time frame. It's something completely different. And it is what we talk about, it's what we call confluence. So if your imbalance has a confluence with base candles or sponsorship candles, then that's when the imbalance makes more sense. And that's when you can now play off imbalance. Right. So it can be very tricky. And that's why I don't really like pay attention to imbalance a lot. I just pay attention to sponsorship candles or base candles. If you notice, those are the only two things I use as my points of interest. I don't use imbalance whatsoever because I know it could be something else on a different time frame. I don't play imbalances. I just play SCs or bases, right?
Makes a lot of sense. Thanks.
Because you see now, this
Yeah, good morning. Just on the imbalance, if you allow me, if the time frame is high, this is constant. If the time frame is if you have an imbalance on a higher time frame, then it has more strength for being tested, because if you go to lower time frame, you will see a base candle in the inside the imbalance.
yeah, exactly.
Generally.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. And you know how back in like 2 months ago or a month ago, we used to talk about support and resistance, and we spoke about how or the reasons why imbalance are created. And it also applies here because imbalances are created when they want to break out of strong structure points or strong resistance. So at this point, you can see that this was resistance because you had this high and you had this high, which is what are holding supply. And then there was a breakout, which led to a break of resistance. So it is still that same concept where there's a retest of that, and then you see it as imbalance. But in that case, we are looking at for what broke out imbalance, what broke out resistance, right? So it's all the same concepts. Um, this is just giving too much confluence at the same time. Like there's a lot of confluence, and that's why it makes sense. Okay, so you just want to make sure that why you're picking that imbalance has a lot of sense behind it. And when it has a lot of sense, then you're on track. But if it doesn't make sense, then you know you're doing the wrong thing.